The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim was released in November 2011, making it at the time of recording this almost 7 years and 2 months old, and it is still, in my opinion, the best game ever made, and the main reason why so many people still play it after 7 years is mods. So let's have a look at the 10 best mods that were released for Skyrim on PS4 in 2018. First up at number 10 is Enhanced World Encounters by Zeno of Elia. I don't know about you, but for me, one of the best things about Skyrim is the random encounters you come across whilst travelling, although I always felt they were a bit too rare, and sometimes the road felt a little bit empty. Enhanced World Encounters increases the amount of world encounter spawn points by nearly 340% to ensure a continuous amount of travellers and enemies along the main paths. You will find small Civil War skirmishes, bandit attacks, Thalmor, peddlers, mercenary travellers, and random wanderers, just to name a few. Using this alongside Civil War patrols, respawnable mercenary, or increased population will increase road activity even further. A good mod that makes travelling great again. You'll never want to fast travel again. Up next at number 9 is Hobbiton by Ozymandias, which I believe was the best player home mod in 2018. This mod adds a brand new player home to Skyrim, and I'm sure you've already guessed it's heavily inspired by the Hobbit holes from The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. The Elder Scrolls Tamriel and The Hobbit's Middle-earth are very similar, therefore the Hobbit hole fits perfectly in Skyrim and does not look out of place whatsoever. The outside of the house looks great. Ozymandias did a great job of making it look like it was plucked straight from the Hobbit films and placed right in Skyrim. The inside of the house looks just as good and has everything you need from a player home, including a bed, crafting stations, a cooking pot, mannequins, weapon racks, and plenty of storage. It really does look exactly like Bilbo Baggins' house, so if you are a fan of Lord of the Rings, you should definitely download this mod. Even if you aren't a fan of Lord of the Rings, I would still consider this mod because it's a great looking player home. At number 8 we have one of the many mods that starts with the word immersive, Immersive Movement by Zana Daniel. This mod redesigns player, NPC, animal and creature movements to make Skyrim feel more believable, realistic and consequentially more immersive. Most changes have been made for realism, some for a little extra challenge, and few inspired by lore. Importantly, this mod will go into your current load order without a hitch. So what does it actually do? There are too many changes for me to list all of them, so here is a summary of the main ones. Your movement speed is reduced in ways that will make sense to you. Two-handed weapons such as greatswords, battle axes and so on are heavy, so will affect your mobility in combat. Your ability to move whilst having an arrow drawn is reduced. You are no longer an Olympic swimmer. Animal movements have been altered so they actually move as they should. Horse sprinting speeds are almost doubled, and galloping is significantly faster. Draugr, Dremor automatrons, vampires, werewolves, Daedra and Atronachs are quicker and more fluid. Trolls, skeevers, spiders and so on have also been tweaked. This mod is for players who enjoy game mechanics that lean more towards realism. The pacing is more realistic, so you might find yourself approaching situations differently. If you think this might not be your cup of tea, at least give it a try, especially since you can safely install or uninstall this mod at any time without any side effects. Up next at number 7 is Iverstead by Ozymandias, the same mod author that brought us the Hobbiton player home. This mod completely revamps Iverstead, giving it a complete makeover. It doesn't just change the exterior of Iverstead, it also changes the buildings and their interiors to make Iverstead look like it would easily win Village of the Year in Skyrim. It looks fantastic, with the autumn leaves falling from the sky, intricate markings, vines and leaves on the walls of the buildings, a dwarven mechanism running the watermill, and even a wonderful outdoor forge. Ozymandias never disappoints. If you haven't already, you should also check out Ozymandias' Riverwood mod. Bethesda needs to give this guy a job designing villages and homes for Elder Scrolls 6. Haste by Horrible Andy is another overhaul mod that greatly improves some of the in-game mechanics of Skyrim. Combining this mod with immersive movement will, in my opinion, greatly improve your Skyrim experience. So what does it actually do? Again, there are far too many changes for me to list them all, so here is a summary of the main changes. Animals no longer have the ability to report crimes, NPC detection of crime is reduced, the distance enemies can chase you is reduced, the NPC's sidestep that allows them to dodge the arrows is removed, torches illuminate more area, if you're attacked by thugs or assassins near a guard, they will actually do their job and help you, smelting and tanning now levels smithing, followers move back a greater distance when bumped into, NPCs no longer randomly greet you, NPCs and the player now blink, rewards for bounty quests are worth more, the price of renting a room is increased to 45 gold, carriage prices are raised to 75 to 155, bounty for murder is now 10,000, bounties for assault, trespass, pickpocket, escape and werewolf are 5 times higher, cooking levels alchemy, there are now craftable lockpicks at the forge, all vanilla merchants not already set as essential have been set to protected, and when you make a skill legendary, it now resets to 30 instead of 15. All of these changes make perfect logical sense to me, and this mod is a permanent feature in my load order. At the halfway stage, we have the unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch by Arthmore. So what does this mod actually do? The Unofficial Patch is a comprehensive bug fixing mod with the goal of eventually fixing every bug with Skyrim Special Edition that hasn't officially been resolved by the developers to the limits of the creation kit and community developed tools. With all of these fixes in one nice and easy to install package. When I say comprehensive, I really mean it. This mod fixes a lot of issues. Just scrolling through the monster-sized changelog will give you an idea of how much work has gone into this mod. Hundreds of gameplay, quest, NPC, object, item, text and placement bugs are fixed. It is created by the authors of the unofficial Oblivion patch series, so you know it's trustworthy. No unsafe changes are made, and it's designed to be compatible with as many other mods as possible. If you are using mods on PS4 already, so don't mind not earning trophies, this mod is an absolute must-have in your load order. Next up is Increased Population by JCon91807. Increased Population does what the name suggests. It adds tons of new NPCs into Skyrim. The original version of this mod, which I covered in a couple videos, added over 1,000 new NPCs across every corner of Skyrim. However, that has now changed and the mod has been split into 3 separate mods. There are currently 3 mods in the series: Towns and Settlements, Militia and Rising Threat. Towns and Settlements is essentially a light version of the original mod that adds new NPCs and followers to Towns and Settlements. However, there won't be as many as the original mod, as a lot of additional followers have been removed. The Militia add-on adds Militia to all holds who are equipped with bandit gear and use guard dialogue. They level up with the player, and you will even find that some of the wealthy families in Skyrim have paid for mercenaries and private guards. And finally, Rising Threat is made to increase the difficulty of Skyrim for players that find the base game too easy by adding additional enemies that are much harder to defeat than the vanilla enemies across the game. This add-on is still in development and will continue to be updated. For example, the authors plan to add custom bosses in the future. These mods make Skyrim feel more full and alive, turning holds into busy, thriving cities and filling up taverns in the evening. Each NPC is in line with the lore of the game, so you won't have to find any new NPCs that might break your immersion. Taking the bronze medal is Realm of Lorkhan Custom Ultimate Start by Possessed Lemon. The Realm of Lorkhan lets you begin the game however you like, by providing you with a brilliant, otherworldly character generation area within which you will select your equipment, a birthstone, and a location to begin the game from. This mod replaces the game's original execution cutscene. Instead, you are transported to the Realm of Lorkhan as soon as you press New Game. From the realm, you will have unlimited storytelling possibilities before you for creating your own character in Skyrim. You can even choose a class such as a bard, pilgrim or knight. Classes are packages of a few boons designed to benefit a particular playstyle. You can even take more than one class if you wish. There are not just positive class options though, there are also curses which give you negative effects which you can use for roleplaying, such as the Anti-Magicka curse, which makes Magicka regenerate 100% slower. This could be used for a bandit orc barbarian build who knows nothing about magic. Should you become a common farmer, or an apprentice at the Mages College, perhaps a common smith, a mercenary, a herbalist, it's all up to you. Prepare for your adventures by speaking to the merchants in Lorkhan who sell clothing, armors, weapons, potions, scrolls and other essential goods. You begin with only 500 gold, maybe you'll waste it and start out poor, otherwise you may scrounge up items from within the realm should you wish to start richer. When you are ready to begin the game, touch one of the several gems, each taking you to a vastly different area of the game world. You may also return to the Realm of Lorkhan by returning to the gem where you began, although you cannot fast travel back to the realm. Where should you begin? The Mages College of Winterhold? A humble home? The border to Cyrodiil? Deep underground in the caverns of Blackreach? The Forest of Riften? The Great Green Forest of Falkreath? It's all up to you. Play the game exactly how you like from the very beginning. Create your own character with limitless possibilities. Taking the silver medal is Kings of Hell Behind Enemy Lines by Bunny Ninja 2. This mod adds over 10 new races, 10 new bosses, new weapons and lots of challenges. The story starts outside an abandoned jail in which you will find a note. The note will show you all of the locations in which you need to go to follow the quest. Every boss you kill, the closer you will be to finding out where another one of the Kings of Hell is. The enemies you fight on the way to the final boss are absolutely crazy. When I walked up to the first location, Eldergleam Sanctuary, I was swarmed by a mob of Spriggans that just kept spawning. And after I dealt with them, I could see a unique Spriggan in the distance, and as I got closer, I realised it was not a normal Spriggan, it was absolutely enormous and insanely powerful, and the fight that followed was challenging and really entertaining. I can honestly say that testing this mod is the most fun I've had in Skyrim for a very long time. The enemies are varied, challenging, and all make for really entertaining fights that truly make you feel like your character is an incredibly powerful godlike warrior, which is what the Dragonborn is meant to be. This is one of many Kings of Hell mods by Bunny Ninja 2, but it is easily my favourite. If you are looking for a big quest mod that adds hours of really enjoyable gameplay to your Skyrim, look no further, you've just found the mod you were looking for. Finally, at number 1 and taking the gold medal is The Great Cities by Soldier of War, uploaded to Bethesda.net by Harry Honey. This is a compilation of 4 city overhaul mods by Soldier of War, and all of them are absolutely incredible. They completely reimagine Winterhold, Morthal, Dawnstar and Falkreath, making them feel like actual cities, not the empty villages they feel like in vanilla Skyrim. Winterhold now reflects its origins of being founded by an Archmage, and now shows in much better detail the destruction of the Great Collapse when most of the city was swallowed into the sea. The gigantic walls that protected the city are now added, and the ruins of the Great Collapse are clearly visible. In Morthal, it adds gates, watchtowers, a stockade around the city, and a unique bridge. It also adds detailing around Morthal to try and make the city feel more lived in. It still tries to keep that small town feel, as Morthal is still one of the smallest of the hold capitals after all, but at the same time make it feel more city-like. The great city of Morthal tries to close the major gap between major and minor hold capitals, just to the point that it all makes a bit more sense, and adds that tiny tad of immersion. In Dawnstar, the mod adds fortifications and an expanded port area. It tries to accentuate the differences between the upper district, which houses the Jarl and guard barracks and focuses on defence, and the lower port area, which focuses on port activity and trade. Falkreath Hold borders Cyrodiil and was once part of it, and thus has some Imperial influence. The great city of Falkreath adds new fortifications that would make the Imperials proud. It expands the graveyard, adds more Nordic architecture to give it that ancient feel, and a tomb. It also tries to add a more medieval feel to the city, like the cities in Cyrodiil have, while still having that Nordic touch. This is a fantastic mod that greatly improves the holds of Dawnstar, Winterhold, Falkreath and Morthal, making them feel like actual cities. Each overhaul of every city does a fantastic job of improving them, whilst doing it in a way that reflects the lore and backstory perfectly. That will take us to the end of the video. I do hope you enjoyed it or found it helpful in some way. If you did, please leave a like and click the notifications bell button next to the subscribe button to be notified every time I upload a new video. If you want to help me make more and better videos, consider supporting me on Patreon. I'll see you in the next video. May Talos guide you.